Hello and welcome to the control tower here at EGGD, better known as Bristol International Airport, and today I'm checking out the add-on scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator by Pilot Plus, and a big shout out to Joe and the team over there at Pilot Plus who have given me an advance copy so I can get this out just hours after it became available from their site. And I've put a link down in the description, so if you like what you see, go and support the development team. They've done a bunch of great airports, including Wickham Airport, which I did review a few months ago, so go and check out what they've got to offer and support some of the great work they've been doing. As always with these videos, I generally start off with giving you a bit of an indication of what this scenery looks like versus the default version. So let's go and do a bit of a comparison there, and then we'll take a look around the airport. Okay, there you go. Pretty stark differences as always and as expected. So Bristol International Airport, yeah, it's quite a large airport actually, and it services the likes of easyJet, TUI, Ryanair and Jet2. It's actually built on a former RAF airbase, which many of these airports in the UK are. Not surprising there. And as you can see, some of the detail here in the control tower. One thing I will show you later on is how the rain effects stream down the sides of these windows. A real sort of trademark of the Pilot Plus development team. But we've got the screens in here, flight boards, etc. Even got Starbucks cups right there. Someone hasn't drunk theirs, obviously needed to shoot off somewhere. We've got fire extinguishers, a few other details here. You get a really nice view out those shaded windows or tinted windows out into the main airport itself. Let me just jump straight out of the top there like magic. And as we dance over the top of the terminal here, and we will take a quick look in the terminal very, very soon, and some really nice detail in there. We've got Ryanair parked out the front there, and over in the distance there you can see easyJet, but I'll just dip straight down here into the hallway. And we've got some really nice detail. Don't get too dizzy looking there. We've got some nice detail here in the waiting area, waiting to board on the plane out there, the aircraft sitting out there. We've got a lot of sort of static aircraft pieces of scenery right there. You've got the Swiss port stairs and some other stuff, the baggage and fuel trucks. Now we'll jump over here into the main terminal, and they've really done a great job up here. Once again, if you are a local, please let me know, how have they done in terms of the detail? Does it look realistic? Are you happy with what you see? Obviously I haven't been to this part of the world myself. Really do enjoy coming here and checking out some of the detail there. The security guard, maybe there's been a robbery and they've stolen all the books here at WH Smith, but the security guard was a bit late. But anyway, we'll pop across here into the main part of the terminal, and as you can see, we've got we're in a store right here. We'll get kicked out. We've got the easyJet service desk here. People book in there, check-in desk I should say. Across to TUI. So people stand here. No doubt this gets very, very busy. And up on the walls there, you can obviously see some of the advertising they've got going on. Europe awaits Bristol. Must be a great thing about living in the UK is you've got a number of amazing countries at your doorstep. Go and check out the spa there. You can even go to Ibiza, or Ibiza, I think is how it's pronounced. Don't hold me to that. We've got the flight information board right here, easyJet, Ryanair. You can see some of those designators right there. As we move up the top here, you've got your good old cafe, coffee lounge, cafe, whatever you want to call it. A few people there enjoying a nothing, but they're hanging around, maybe waiting for their flight or waiting for their relatives to arrive. Here we are in the departure gates, and I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with these areas here. We've got our security area. Go in there, throw your bag through there, get yourself scanned, make sure you're not carrying anything too dodgy. Keeps the airport nice and safe. As we jump out the top of the roof here, and we'll move across to this other part of the apron. And as I mentioned before, you've got the easyJet jets just sitting here. One of them's got the mobile stairway right there. And this looks like they must have a passenger bus that transports passengers from over the main terminal to where the jets are parked over here. So that looks kind of nice. You've also got the ground markings there with the accurate numbers. And that's one thing that they have done. They've got precise terrain of 1 metre resolution in here. So you will notice a difference in terms of the airports and its surrounds. Pretty good quality right there. Over here looks like some construction going on, which is pretty cool. And then another easyJet parked over here. I wonder if this is actually a gate, because we do have a passenger bus right there. Perhaps they like to utilise all the space. And we've got the motorway hugging the surrounds of the aerodrome right there. Now, one cool little thing that has been brought to my attention is that this runway's actually got a pretty decent slope in it, and even from this angle, you can kind of see it about halfway up the runway there. You can kind of see that it slopes away. If we get down to ground level here, come on, Mace, get down there, mate, and you can really start to see there. It's got quite a decent slope in this runway. Now, what did they call it? If I just refer to my notes right here. It's called the Foggy Bottom, they call this airport. Ha! Great name, love it. So as you can see, a pretty decent slope in there. So you can't really see the end of it. When you're down here looking to take off, you cannot see the end of the runway, so that adds a bit of spice to it. We'll jump over to this part of the airport on the opposite side of the runway. We've got those ground marks in there, some really nice detail mesh, or terrain mesh I should say. You've got a helo sitting over here just laxing out. A couple of hangars, private jet. Obviously some car parks and a few other things, perhaps rental, I'm not too sure. Someone can let me know down in the comments. Looks like I've got a bit of a GA area over here. And I'm going to pop over here. You've got the radar just swinging around there, minding its own business. And we've got some other, this looks like the emergency response or training area right here with sort of a cutout of a plane and a helo. So all the emergency services can do their training for fire and emergency. Container sitting around there. So a lot of nice little details sitting around there. We've got the windsock sitting, looks like a bit of a crosswind at the moment. That'll be interesting. You'll be landing over here, landing that way there today. Or if you really want to risk it and give it a good nudge, land that way. Doesn't really matter, give it a nudge. You know, at Kiwi Air, landing with the wind, always fun. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and switch down the lighting. I'll do that as we speak, and let's check out what the airport looks like at night, which is always cool. So we'll just move this right through, and we're in dark right here. Oh, nice. Now that is cool. Obviously, being a larger airport, you're going to see a lot more lighting than perhaps some of the other boutique smaller airfields that we have covered, and you get a really good appreciation there of the opposite side of the airfield. You've got all the taxiways really clearly marked, and obviously the main runway itself. Really spectacular actually at night. One of the best looking ones I've seen. And I always love seeing those big dark spaces with the main city behind there. Always looks really, really great. But we come down here, and you've got all the associated lighting that you would expect across the apron there. And some of the business buildings and perhaps the hotels there in the background. I'm not 100% sure. Down to which seems to be the fuel depot. You've got some of the BP trucks in there actually. Air BP. And that really does look quite spectacular. What do you think? So we've got some fluoro lights, LED lights there in the background that you can see poking through the main terminal there. So if we jump right up over the back here and look around, it really is a spectacular sight. Really nice. Looking forward to flying out of here actually. How about let's go and test out the weather conditions, and I'll show you some of those water effects I was talking about. Okay, I'm starting to get an appreciation of why they call it Foggy Bottom there in the background. But as you can see, we've got some lightish rain here, maybe medium type rain falling. And hopefully you can see it there. You can see over down here the water droplets just running down the side of the window here. It ramps up a bit when you add a bit of more of a thunderstorm or something like that, but it's a nice little touch. It's something that the Pilot Plus team are really well known for, and it really just brings that immersion and realism to the sim. Just little details like that. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, EGGD Bristol Airport, and I've got to say they've done a fantastic job again with the detail in this airport. Now, I haven't showed you absolutely every detail, so you can pick it up if you're interested. You can go and check it out in a little bit more detail. Now, one thing they did mention is there's a couple of things inside Microsoft Flight Simulator itself that are affecting some of the scenery items. It's outside their control, but just so you're aware, there's some floating orb lights. I haven't seen any of them of myself, but the SDK doesn't allow for these floating lights to be removed, so that's outside their control. Also, LOD popping and viewing distance is a little bit of an issue at the moment. That was changed in line with the Xbox release, so just be aware of that. And they're hoping to fix that, though. Microsoft, the team at Asobo are looking to fix that, so hopefully that will rectify itself in the future. Also, there's an issue with snow where it's calculated by the colour of the surface. In other words, the lighter it is, the more snow that will accumulate. So that's just something to be aware of too. The snow effects can be a little bit different around there also. So just so you're aware of those things there. But apart from that, everything's looking absolutely fantastic. And if you're looking for a slightly larger airport, perhaps, to fly out of in the UK, then this certainly can fit the bill. I'm really looking forward to revving up one of those larger aircraft and terrorising passengers in the sky, as I always do. But once again, thank you, Pilot Plus. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, everybody, take it easy.